All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and I'm going to be with you for the next probably not an hour. I guess we'll see how long this goes. We happen to have the game worlds down today. We were going to be up by noon, but unfortunately we ran into a few issues today, so I can talk a little bit about that. And otherwise, I mostly just do some Q&A, hang out for a little bit. I can talk to you about the latest bonuses and what we have going on, but not a huge show really today, because it's a downtime show. And I was hoping to maybe get out some of my D&D or DDO swag, kind of following Axel's footsteps over on YouTube. He recently talked about some DDO swag, but it was all so buried, I couldn't get it out in time for noon here today. So what do we actually have going on? We are doing extensive game maintenance today. We're doing some work kind of deeper into the machinery, as it were, and also doing some kind of data capture work related to investigations into lag and a few other things as well. So no changes to the game today, despite being down for what may end up being a pretty long time. We were going to be up by noon today, but unfortunately the office got hit with a power outage this morning. And while because of the nature of it all being sort of only kind of local, right? It hasn't actually impacted the game, the data, any of that. That's all fine. But what it did impact, of course, is our ability to, say, run programs from our computers in the office, and eventually also then delay the process to reopen the game worlds once those things are done. So unfortunately, we're about 2 hours behind here today, and that stinks. But there was, hey, what do you do? All of a sudden, there's no power. You got to do something about it, right? So there you go. And that's what's been going on here today. That's why we're down for an extra couple of hours, and that's why it's been a little bit of a challenge being able to access company stuff related to trying to get the worlds open today. But it's all done now. The computers are back on and up, and I'm, as of about 6 minutes ago, able to get back to my computer. So in the office, virtually, as it were. So I can actually get things like bonuses and dates and all that for you, and be pretty confident that I'm not just making up dates. So there you go. Yeah, life happens, right? But man, that kind of stinks. So anyway, yes, the servers are still down. If we can get it open before 2, we're going to. It may not take that long, but I guess we'll see what ends up happening. So the big news today, though, is that tomorrow we have Crystal Cove. Yeah, Crystal Cove is coming back. That's going to be running through June 13th on our calendar here. So quite a while, actually. We've got a full 3 weekends on it, really. And that's pretty cool. So that'll be kicking off late morning Eastern time tomorrow. Crystal Cove will be back. We don't have new items from the last time Crystal Cove appeared. However, the last time Crystal Cove appeared, there was at least a little bit of kind of different stuff or things to work toward. And we heard from quite a few of you that maybe you want another chance at it. So regardless, what we heard basically was, yes, we want new Crystal Cove stuff, of course. We want it too. But we don't want to wait. If you have to bring it out and not have new stuff in it, do it anyway. And so that's what we're doing. Hey, why not? We got a good kickoff to summer here. People are starting to do things outside of quarantine in many places and what have you. So a good time to kind of run an event like this. And so that kicks off tomorrow, late morning Eastern time, and runs through June 13th. The other bonus we have going on this weekend is 20% heroic and epic XP. So that's pretty sweet. Also, we do have the Wish of Inheritance available. This is an item you can buy in the DDO store that'll allow you to trade a weapon that's bound to one character to a different character on your account. What it does is it temporarily makes the item account bound, so you can put it in your bank or what have you. And then when it's re-equipped, it becomes back again bound to character. Anyway, that's available through this weekend as well. This is the final weekend of that, and it is a limited duration item. So that's why, even though I don't usually get too salesy on the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream, I wanted to mention it this time because every time it goes away, I always hear from one or two people who are like, just bring it back for a day. I didn't get my thing, and so no, please do take advantage of that this week. If you would like to, you've got through the weekend to do that. I'm not saying it's probably the number one thing used in conjunction with the blade of Jack Gibbers, but it might be. That Jack Gibbers blade sure is a reason to maybe have a wish of inheritance. I'm just saying. Is it a new chair? No, it's not a new chair. What is different, though, because people who are probably looking at the camera week in and week out are like, something is weird. Something is different about the camera this time. Yes, my blind is gone. I'm actually just gonna get casual here because why not? This is a fireside summer chat here. Normally, this is my room, right? I got my Atari poster, but this is a big window that's right on the other side of my monitor here. Waka waka. Anyway, it's all blown out because it's in the sun and it's a hot sunny day here. But that's what's different is all my lighting is off because I had lost the blind to that window when I was doing a bunch of housework this week. So that's what's up different. Yep. But yeah. Oh, it won't work on Gibbers? Really? I think people are right. Shoot, I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's bound to character on acquire and exclusive, but it isn't equipped. That's right. That's right. It would be, because of bound to character on acquire, and exclusive, it would bypass by the wish of inheritance, but because that item is not equipped, specifically, it cannot be used currently with the wish of inheritance. Ooch. Bad info on Cordovan's part today. Sorry about that. You're right. We should fix that. Because Gibbers is a potion. I don't think you need a poll to make that so. I have a feeling if we could, we would, because, you know. Gosh, sorry about turning this live stream into a den of lies. Yeah. Alright, let me head back to Facebook and such. Well, I'm just going to have to try it, because now I've got someone in Facebook chat saying they thought it did work. So, but clearly I would think if it worked, people wouldn't tell me otherwise. So, sorry about that. Okay, since older zones are getting love like Cerulean and Searing Heights, will more old zones like Tangleroot or Sorrowdust get love? They are ace zones. Jack, thanks on YouTube for mentioning that. I think if there were an opportunity to go into those zones and perhaps add additional content like we did for both Cerulean Hills and Searing Heights, perhaps there might be an opportunity there to do some of that work, but I don't actually think we have any plans for Tangleroot or Sorrowdusk, and they're pretty dense already in terms of what they offer, so I'm not sure that there's quite the same set of circumstances that would lead us to, you know, revamp, kind of do some extra work in Tangleroot or Sorrowdusk. I think if we did something in Tangleroot, it might be to perhaps let you bypass it if we wanted to, but I don't know. I never say never, but it doesn't seem as likely just due to, like I say, there's, you know, part of the thing with Searing Heights and Cerulean Hills is they had sat without a lot of real questing to do in them for quite some time. So when we were looking particularly, say, at like low-level things, a low-level quest pack, like the Gatekeepers stuff, and trying to find an appropriate location where you would come from Korthos or perhaps keep on the Borderlands, and then, you know, be offered an opportunity to kind of funnel into the newer content. Cerulean Hills just sort of presented itself naturally as a place to do that. So I think that's really the why on Cerulean. But, yep. That is true, that those two zones are not free to play, whereas both Cerulean and Searing Heights are. We could deal with that if we needed to, though. Any teasers for Saltmarsh I can share? No. Other than, I could say I've seen some of the cosmetics that are being developed by the artists and such, and looking good is my short review of that one. Looking real good. So hopefully pretty soon, actually, I would expect to see this hit Lamania, and we'll have a lot more that you'll see when we are ready for that. So cleaning up Threnal quest chain progression, that would be a kind of a nice to have someday. Maybe a quality of life pass could someday get that done. I don't think it would be an insignificant task, though, which is why I think it is the way it is. Remember that Threnal was a very early adventure pack, adventure zone in GDO's history. And some of those early zones are you know, the underlying code in them, and kind of trying to do the forensic work to correct some of these issues is like, it was a different world back then, I guess, is about the shortest way to say it. In many ways it's of course the same, but in many ways it's very, very different. So sometimes doing something that seems like it would be easy on those old quest packs becomes surprisingly difficult quickly. Oh, a nice bunny shirt. I know, I like it. I like it. It's a new one. I try to find shirts that I can wear on the stream that are less branded, right? You know, I can't be wearing a cola shirt, you know, for your most famous cola brand, or and generally shouldn't wear any shirts for other video game studios and things like that. You know, I've been known to wear an Iron Maiden shirt, but that's, no one's really going to care about that. As a matter of fact, it absolutely did come from $6 t-shirts. Yes, yes. So, all right. But hey, they've got a lot of generic stuff that I'm looking for, so. Like a new waypoint to the Titan raid, yes, on Facebook. Alright, D and K are kinda sparse on content since you run them. There's no reason to go back there after about level 13. Well, K in particular, you're going back there after level 13 because you're almost certainly running the Vonzon Epic, right? But, yeah, good point. Does the consume feat not work properly? Is that correct? I don't know. I will have to dig into that. Are you talking about not working correctly with Intensify, perchance? Otherwise, we'll have to dig into that a little further. A few weeks back, I briefly teased about Feywild being available with points. Any news? I will let follow up on that. That should be happening pretty soon here. Yeah, it is in the store. It is in the store. That happened. Did that already happen? Did I already announce that? I did announce that, didn't I? I could have sworn I did. Yes, that happened on April 29th, approximately. We also put Fate Arc Illusionist, Razor Claw, Shifter Iconic, and the Shifter Race in the DDO store. Sorry, I'm just trying to kind of figure out what I should chat about next. You see my cat. I don't see my cat right now. Oh, is the cat right there? Yeah, that would be the newest addition to the household. A cat named Hope. Was a little kitty, is now no longer a little kitty, but there you go. Bonus days, yes. So Crystal Cove is kicking off along with 20% heroic and epic XP. And the epic and heroic XP is through Sunday. Crystal Cove is through June 13th. So that's the big news, I guess, of the day, really. And then we are tracking towards, Lamania and quite a bit more in the very near future with update 50. And then we have some things that are being worked on related to all the stuff happening later this year. Everything from, the Epic Destiny work to other things I probably shouldn't mention. Either way, we've got a lot of work coming in and some pretty cool things that we'll be able to share in the coming weeks, but not so much today. So how about I go and check out where we are on our downtime, kind of make sure that there's nothing I need to cover, and then maybe call it a short show here today. Because I kind of just don't have much to talk about. And I probably should stop sticking my foot in my mouth. All right. Speaking of that, we're heading out to a long weekend here. So, if you have a long weekend in the United States, hope you enjoy it. There you go. Any news of when the new common augments of damage, accuracy, tactics, spell penetration, etc. will be available in the DDO store? This from Macubri over on Twitch. The suggestion to add those to the store has come up. We have not yet done so. Right now, they're based in content, and I think that's going to be the plan here for the short term. But, we definitely have heard the suggestions to add them to the store, so perhaps sometime in the future we'll have news there. What are the chances DDO will get, quote, seasonal mounts, not just from expansion packs and hardcore seasons, but like spring things, summer things? That certainly seems like something we could do in the future. So far, we have tended to add them to other existing kind of things that we're selling or offering, whether that be a hardcore experience or an expansion pack. But there's nothing saying we couldn't offer it like as a seasonal kind of offering in the DDO store itself. I would imagine someday that seems awful likely to happen. But I haven't actually heard of any plans for us to do that. I think at the moment we're kind of still sticking with content and experience plans on mounts. But you never know. And there's no reason we couldn't do that. So, is there any reason why the stream is in the same day almost all downtime's maintenances happen? This actually is pretty rare that I don't have a show to do because of downtime. Originally, they were just on Wednesdays because it was the middle of the week, and that's a day that I could fit it into my schedule around other meetings and things. I generally just sort of give up a lunch and do this. But over time, yeah, the downtimes have moved to be around, 8, 9 o'clock Eastern on Wednesdays, but they usually don't take very long. So the number of downtime shows I've done is actually just a couple of them. But we did have one just a couple of weeks ago as well, so I hear what you're saying. If it ever becomes more of a problem, then sure, I would probably just move the time of the show. But this is pretty unusual, and we would have been up already if we hadn't had our power outage today, so, you know. Is it true that Kate Pies is back? That is not true. Don't know where that one came from. I don't know what Kate's up to nowadays. Wish her the best. Are Epic Destiny updates still on schedule? Yes. Are Defender Tree updates still on the tweaks to-do list? If you're talking about the, say, like, enhancement trees, then that would be on a to-do list certainly after the Epic Destiny work is done. I don't think it's likely that we'll be doing a lot of enhancement tree work between now and when we do release our Epic Destiny work outside of release probably Horizon Walker, which is a universal enhancement tree that people know is coming. So I'm going to say definitely on the tweaks to-do list for the foreseeable future on that one. But enhancement work is certainly not done, so. Will a level cap increase be in conjunction with the Epic Destiny revamp? Stay tuned, it's possible. We've long been talking about that as well. I don't know that they're not necessarily... They don't necessarily have to align, but I think it's possible they might. And no, sorry, no new Cove items this time around. I'm not a big lunch eater in general. That's the other reason. I do Wednesdays on the DDO side and Fridays on the other game side. I usually just prefer to work over lunch anyway. It goes back to the days when I worked in radio and journalism and I didn't have a choice. But I just got used to it, so there you are. Yeah. I am so grateful for the position I've been afforded here, and I every time I think back to some of the things I put up with as an employee in those old jobs, I tell you, it is lovely to be in a place where you're treated well. Let's put it that way. And if you're in a position where I was in back in the day, where you're not being treated well in the workplace, all I could do is hope you have the same luck I do. Yep. I don't know Dirty Dexter, who had a display issue with your Cloak of Night. I don't know if that... I would say submit a support ticket to see if there's anything they can do about it. Certainly. Someone is having a visual bug that made them all appear as level 16. So you thought something had happened where your level 16 was duplicated and accidentally deleted 2 of them. Well, that's a bummer. But yeah, CS hopefully can help sort that one out with you. Yeah, I would mention just a couple other things that people have mentioned I could share here before I wrap up the show. I have been noticing that Strimtom and Lunabill have been getting together on Strimtom's YouTube and Twitch channel to do some theoretical kind of game dev, as it were. The idea is just, what would be the thought process in creating an enhancement tree? Give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at some of the considerations that get into it and all that. But it's very much also positioned as enhancement trees that will never happen. That's by design. You know, this is all theory craft only. And in part because we have to make sure that we're not talking, you know, we're not releasing information about upcoming changes through this means, but also because it positions it nicely, which is, hey, this is a behind the scenes look on how to do this thing, not any kind of indication of what will be coming. I noticed there's a little thing that cropped up on the forums this week about that, where someone who was less familiar with the live streams that StreamTom does had accidentally perhaps overweighted what they were seeing, you know, in terms of something that was coming to the game or something like that. And just to be clear, that's not the case. It's really a casual show that Linabelle and StreamTom do related to just theory crafting. But it is valuable in that you can kind of get a sense of some of the considerations that go into making these kind of things. So, yeah, I would also mention that I, for the next couple of months, am going to be bringing out a tabletop thing where the party is returning to Chanticleer. This was pre-recorded in mid-May and is being split into 3 parts, being released on D&D Night on DDO Stream. And that's on Sunday nights on twitch.tv/DDO Stream. We have a rotating cast of DMs, and I take the 3rd Sunday of the month. So for the 3rd Sunday of the month in June and July, I'm going to be doing parts 2 and 3 of a Chanticleer tabletop thing that I did for about 6.5 hours on a mid-May afternoon. It was a good time. It isn't meant to be sort of a D&D version of Chanticleer. It only is thematically really involved. They're going back to these places, a few of these places, to deal with the consequences of really the Seal of Chanticleer. But if that's of interest to you, maybe you want to check it out this summer. And so Sunday night, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/DDO Stream. Can I speak about the addition of a new producer to Lotro? And will that free up Sev to focus primarily on DDO? No, it will not. The position is not equal to Severland's. The producer position that is in Lotro is underneath Severland, is a standard game development team producer position, not an executive producer position. So what that means is it's more about the process, sprint planning, keeping things organized internally, making sure progress is being made toward milestones that you have in the development process, things like that. It's not more of a corporate executive level position. So the producer side on Lotro is, I think, most equivalent to Kokomajobo's position, relatively new position, on the DDO side. Although they're not exactly one-to-one either, I don't think. But it's very much not the case of this person taking over Sev's duties on the Lotro side. Agile sprints, yeah, at least some of them do that. Yeah. How am I doing on hardcore? I just last night, in preparation for hopefully being able to do that today, ran the last couple of Tangleroot quests. I ran the last couple of level 3s I needed to do, so I got all the level 3s done. I was able to take level 8, and I popped into level 4 last night and ran Irestone Inlet. So I did that. That's where I'm at right now on hardcore. My character's level 8, doing okay. I was hoping to play it on the stream here today, going into Tangleroot and then the Sharn Syndicate quests, and then go from there. So slow but steady is, I guess, what I would say on hardcore, but still alive. I have not died once yet this hardcore season, so we'll see. We'll see. And my other character is level 5, 6, which is a rogue that I kind of have been bringing up in relative parallel to this one based on which quests I've run and haven't run with the group and which ones I ran on the live stream. Because if I run it on the live stream, I probably don't want to rerun it and put myself at risk just for the heck of it. So, you know, there we are. And yeah, unfortunately, I'm still not seeing, and the game world's open or anything yet. It's going to be just a little bit. So I think I'm actually going to wrap up the show. We need guides in the Underdark. Wandering around hoping to find kidnapped dragon knights is the same as a special ops team just wandering. Okay, well, I see what you're saying. I actually do agree. I think that if we were to have the opportunity to revisit the Underdark area, there is some ability to get around, through the portals, but they're not necessarily that easy to find or understand where they all go. So a fast travel route through the Underdark would be pretty darn useful, I would agree. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. All I can really say about the changes to Epic Destinies is that the systems team has been presenting various works in progress of these Epic Destiny changes to the Players' Council in recent weeks. And that's in preparation for getting it ready to present to the wide public on Lamania. And presumably that should be happening in the relatively near future here. But the Epic Destiny work is a little later this year, so we're not there yet. Weekend bonus, Crystal Cove, plus 20% heroic and epic XP. We are looking into a question about why some deaths are not being broadcast on the hardcore server. We don't have an answer for you yet. We have checked to make sure that the threshold, which we do have the ability to arbitrarily set, was not accidentally set too high or something like that. We have also checked to make sure that the death messages aren't being impacted by what, say, race or class you are. So far, nothing has turned up there. So we're looking into it, but don't yet have anything to report as to why some of the deaths are not being reported over on the hardcore server. Crystal Cove will run actually quite a while here. I've got it set on our calendar as running through June 13th. So that would be this weekend, next weekend, and the weekend after that, being shut off that following Monday morning. Do I know what account has the most deaths on the hardcore server? That would be... We could get that info, but no, I do not. I do not. Well, very nice to hear from you, Claude, over on Facebook. Very nice. All right, we're going to wrap up the show here today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week with the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Most likely be on hardcore. We'll kind of see what the fates bring us. If I die on hardcore, I may move to the other servers here for a little while on the stream, but hopefully I won't die between now and next Wednesday. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.